Tonight, Memphis's first black school superintendent says a state takeover of MSCS is needed. In an exclusive interview with Action News 5, Dr. Willie Harrington shares his reaction to the preliminary results of that $7.6 million forensic audit of the district. The report, just 25% complete, identified more than $1 million in alleged waste or abuse. Action News 5's Caitlin Miller also getting reaction tonight from the woman who led the MSCS board during 2 of the 3 years under the microscope in this audit. Caitlin, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Joyce. Tonight here in Memphis, reactions are split. So we heard lawmakers this morning say this review shows serious breaks in accountability, and local leaders here have shared different opinions on next steps they want to see. Some say intervention is necessary to restore public trust and get crucial funding, while others argue the numbers we saw today don't justify sweeping action before the audit is final.
This board, in my judgment, if I were grading it, would get an F for oversight and for governance.
A partial state forensic review putting Memphis-Shelby County Schools under a harsh spotlight, questioning how the district monitors spending, contracts, and basic internal controls. Former Memphis Mayor and MCS Superintendent Dr. Willie Harrington sat down exclusively with Action News 5, telling us these stakes go beyond politics.
If we continue with the current course of action and the same people at the governance level making crucial decisions, I think it would be a grave mistake.
Former MSCS board chair Bishop Althea Green echoed this as well, telling us if the students' best interests are truly the priority here, change should be too.
If funds are going to come in to help strengthen this district and to make us better, send the intervention.
Green also questions the status of projects, including the Whitehaven High STEM Center, which saw a lot of back and forth over funding and now stands finished but empty.
How do we account for students not being able to go in a building because there is no furniture, not one chair, not one table? That is unprecedented, it is unacceptable, and I want those questions answered yesterday.
Some current MSCS leaders are pushing back, arguing the audit numbers and language are being used to paint too broad a picture.
When you think about 1.1 million, and this audit was over a span of 3 or 4 years, and the budget is roughly $2 billion a year, so that is less than 1%.
A reminder, this audit is only 25% complete, with more to come later this year as board members call for accountability, change, and collaboration instead of a fast-moving takeover. Yeah, Superintendent Dr. Roderick Richmond, who just got his permanent title yesterday, says the district is now combing through these preliminary findings and plans to release a progress update Monday, April 6th, outlining what's been fixed and what gaps remain. Here in the newsroom, Caitlin Miller, Action News 5.